It turns out that when you overlook Beijing from the sky, it looks like this. It is the mythical bird Xianyao, the ancient capital, who will take us on a tour of numbers. Zhou is happy that you have arrived as scheduled. To understand the central axis, you must first understand the city of Beijing. From the air, the old city of Beijing is a convex shape with the city wall as the boundary. To the south is the outer city, and to the north is the inner city. Inside the inner city is the imperial city, and inside the imperial city is the forbidden city, surrounded by arches like stars. The backbone of the central axis person commands the strict construction of the imperial city walls and gates, connecting the magnificent and solemn national ceremonial sites and bustling streets, forming a symmetrical landscape rhythm of ups and downs. It can be said that the magnificent order unique to Beijing is generated by the establishment of this central axis. Should take a closer look. It depends on your mastery of flying skills. You can't learn things as quickly as I can. Let me show you what a tall city gate it is. The starting point of the 7th southern end of the Liaobei outer city is the official road against the Jinyuan, and they fly so fast. Of course, Beijing rainy night can fly up to 48 meters per second at the fastest, which is over 170 kilometers per hour. Do you want to catch up? Of course, the plaque floor is the building on the central axis of the sword tower at the main gate, which is staggered and undulating. Sir, this is the outer Jinshui Bridge in Tiananmen Square, and the architectural complex. Passing through the majestic Tiananmen Square, the tall gate leads to the Forbidden City, which is also known as the Forbidden City. It is a left obstruction and right retreat. On the left front of the Forbidden City, the Imperial Ancestral Temple was built to worship ancestors, and on the right front, an altar was constructed. This time, the Society of the Ancient Left Ancestor, and Right House of the Five Stock Gods, is one of the most important symbols of a country's political power. Let's go explore the temple first. Because the Temple of Heaven was a place for emperors of the Ming and Qing dynasties to worship their ancestors, and it was the highest level ancestral temple built for a long time. You symbolize me. This is a small hall, where the emperor held a grand ancestral worship ceremony. The ancestral tablet of the emperor is usually enshrined in the sleeping hall behind it, and during the grand ancestral worship ceremony, it is moved to the altar of the Xiang Hall, and held solemnly. What are the solemn ancestral worship ceremonies? That's what we collected before the 100 family surnames lost in the night, run from the Temple of Heaven. Next, follow me to the design world to embrace new challenges. Let's set off. The soil in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors looks great, not just beautiful. The 5 elements of traditional Chinese culture are embodied in their harmony, symbolizing the balance between humans and nature. Moreover, the 5-colored soil is precisely collected from the 5 directions of land in China, including the eastern green soil, the southern red and western white soil, the northern black soil, and the central yellow soil. The 5 elements of 5 colors and 5-colored army wind. Southeast, northwest, and central. Isn't our country developed in space from these 5 directions? I understand that the 5-colored soil symbolizes the vast territory of our motherland, the peaceful mountains and rivers, and the unified design and stability of the country. Next, we should fly over the Forbidden City. There you will see the ancient people's romantic imagination of the stars in the universe, which is also intricately linked to the creation of the central axis. The Forbidden City has arrived at the Big Dipper, and ancient people emphasized that the order between heaven and earth is the order in heaven. In their eyes, the celestial realm is a terrestrial star, and the North Star is the location where the celestial realm, including the 28 constellations of March, resides. It is also known as the heavenly star Do, which surrounds the world and serves the ruler. The residences of ancient emperors naturally followed suit. In the first week, on the central axis of the Forbidden City, the part of the Big Dipper symbolizes that the emperor has been enfeoffed to have a sound grasp of the Big Dipper, and has mastered this corresponding relationship. The line forces the heavens to set up a clear sky and fields, and the light rain on the entire central axis outlines the great time and space of the unity of heaven and men. For a multi-city and well-managed city, he considered several issues. In 1, 2, 6, or 7 years, Emperor Shizu of the Yuan dynasty isolated Liu Bingzhong and appointed him as the chief designer of the Yuan capital. Because the Mongolians had a custom of living by water and grass, Liu Bingzhong was interested in it, and it was only here that it was established. Later, it laid the foundation for the Ming and Qing dynasties. Beijing is a city that is a blend of traditional Chinese culture, and its geographical location is characterized by geographical waves. Here, the Taihang Mountains and rainforests face the sea with a single blade, in line with the selection criteria of ancient Chinese capitals with mountains and water on their backs. The 5 major water systems flow down from between the mountains, and Beijing is located between 2 nearly parallel rivers. The entire city is surrounded by mountains and waters, and since ancient times, it has been regarded as a place of excellent feng shui and prosperity. Water was very important in ancient times. In addition to meeting the needs of urban life and irrigation, it also plays an irreplaceable role in transportation. Where is it below? Under the Wanning Bridge lies the famous North Canal, which flows from the south of the Yangtze River. Tao Chuanhui River flows northward through Wanning Bridge and enters Jishuritan. This prosperity is not only for production, but also for the most magnificent capital city at that time. It spreads outward from Wanning Bridge and gradually forms a prosperous commercial center. Until today, this is one of the busiest places in Beijing, which is in line with the construction of facing future generations, regulating the management of the 2 highest buildings on the central axis of the famous TV pavilion, which is the most important natural management in Beijing. Subsequently, the guards will ring the bell for the people in the inner city. At 7 in the evening and 5 in the morning, the entire city gradually takes shape until 5 in the morning. Even if the opening officials take the stage, the brand new love master must have established a soul that believes in the central axis of the sutra. He already has his own power, and I think that is a kind of strength, so he can continue.